Just a moment to taste the newness of life.
Sometimes life brings us into places we've never been before. Places of uncertainty, of loss, of change. Moments when we can't see what's ahead and the familiar things that once grounded us are suddenly gone. In this episode of the Just the Movement podcast, I want to talk about the unknown because sometimes what we don't understand can lead us closer to what we need to learn. And when everything feels unstable, God still knows the way. And even when it feels like everything has been taken away, peace, direction, security, there is still purpose in the unknown. So today, I invite you to pause, take a breath, and let's walk together through the mystery of the moment that we're in.
Just a moment to taste the newness of life. A moment to recognize that yesterday was survived. Embracing every minute and the seasons we have. For despite life's challenges, there is always a moment to be glad. Just a moment. Welcome to
Welcome back to the Just the Moment podcast, the Giant Pod, where we pause to reflect on life through the lens of poetry and prose. I am Sean Graham, your host. I'm a poet, I'm an author, a speaker. I just love to run my mouth, right? And in this space, we use it to remind you that every moment, even the uncertain ones, can become a place of growth and grace. Growth and grace. The title for today's reflection here on the podcast is The Unknown. The Unknown. I've often shared on the podcast how life is not afraid to remind you that the things we sometimes place such grand value on or in are temporary. Yeah. I've talked about my dad's passing in December of 2024 and having to sort through, throw away, give away his earthly possessions. And just being reminded that he took nothing, absolutely nothing with him. Hurricane Melissa is doing that again for me. It is. To see homes with their entire content being washed away, gone. Memorabilia that reminded you of the journeys you took, the paths you had been on, the accomplishments you made, the failures you overcame, the reasons you had invested all the time and money in a particular project, gone. Moments transformed right before our eyes. Yes. Rearranged realities. Not just one person, not one family, but many people. Many families are facing now a new reality. Life. Unknown. It's like a phone that has been pushed to reset or to factory setting. The old settings wiped clean. No more favorites. No more photos. Saved conversations, gone. Saved telephone numbers, gone. Having to start all over and having no clear direction where to start from. The unknown. The unknown. We saw that homes were damaged, businesses gone, vehicles washed away, no electricity, no water. It's weird. You want the rain to fall, but because you ain't got no water, but your house is not covered as yet. And so it's not only raining on the outside, it's raining on the inside too. No means of communication, no clothes, no food. And for the ones I learned recently that for the ones who have money in the bank, some of them can hardly access it. Why? No electricity, no ATM. no electricity, no card readers in the stores. So cash has suddenly become king. The unknown, the unknown. How do you assist in the rebuilding process and tangibly at that? How can you? When while we are staring at the unknown is staring back at us. How to get things done? Where do we start? A lot of questions. Questions, no answers. The unknown. The unknown. I'm reminded of Job in the Bible who lost everything. And he said, naked came I into the world. Everything seemed to have been borrowed, gone. And now all that lies ahead of us is the unknown. So there are a lot of questions. And one now is, then what? Where do we place our focus? Where do I place my focus if I've lost everything? Where do I center my lens? Where do I direct my attention at this moment? In this moment, the unknown, staggering reality is hitting you in the face. The unknown. Hey, thank you for taking this journey with me. Let me thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening or watching the episodes. Thank you for sharing the Just the Moment podcast. If you are new to the podcast, thank you for stopping by. And I pray that you continue to listen to the episodes each week. I pray that you find value in what is shared in this space and that there is a connection between my thoughts and your heart. If you have not yet subscribed as yet, I'm inviting you to do so. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell so you will be notified once the new episodes are available. A new episode is released on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, RSS.com, Amazon Music, YouTube, Spotify, Audible, wherever you can find podcasts, you will find the Just a Moment podcast, the Jam Pod. And the questions are always coming, they never end. Because you're still asking, is there a greater purpose in this suffering for me, for others? And the question is not only for those who are on the inside, for those who have been directly impacted, but for those who are on the outside as well, who have been impacted directly. The ones on the outside, the ones looking at the picture. And so how are we interpreting what we're seeing? Question, how should we interpret what lies ahead? The unknown is also a reality for us as well. Living day by day, hour by hour, the uncertainties. It's like being dealt a hand and having no choice but to play. You must make a move, and then another move, and then another move. Who knows what lies ahead? The turns that we'll have to take, the sacrifice we'll have to make. Change is constant, but every minute ahead will always remain in the unknown zone. No one knows. Yeah. And so, after all of that, after all the questions, after all the concerns, we're left with one truth, though. We can't run this race by ourselves. No, we can't. We have to lean on the strength that will endure. God's arm, that is. Every unknown moment has already been prepared. He'll send the people. He'll provide the resources. He'll provide that ram that's hanging out in the thicket. He'll make the way out of no way as we keep moving forward. And then we look back and realize that this was just a moment in our story, just a moment in your story, just a moment in my story. Yes. And guess what? We do not have to know what lies ahead. We don't. The God who created the space ahead knows what's there, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It is. So don't let the unknown trip you up. God knows what's ahead. It is customary for us to share a poem here on the Just a Moment podcast. And in this episode, I'm going to share once again the Just a Moment poem, which is the essence of the podcast. Just a moment. Just a moment to taste the newness of life. A moment to recognize that yesterday was survived. Embracing every minute and the seasons we have. For despite life's challenges, there's always a moment to be glad. A moment sometimes to shed some tears. A moment sometimes to laugh the world away. Some moments to remember and some to forget. And some to just stay in the not now or the not yet. In some of these moments, life knocks you off your feet. Some moments can be bitter and some moments can be sweet. But what you do with a moment is really up to you. From what it brings before you, you will get to choose. So utilize every moment that life sends your way. Don't live for tomorrow. Take a hold of your today. Live every day as if it were your last. Get on life's stage and be a part of its cast. A moment gone can never be retrieved. So live appreciating life's gifts that you have received. Let's use every moment to capture the essence of life. Let's savor every flavor, every bite, every slice. Remember, all we have are just moments. Forever, they don't last. Sometimes we get to see them as a blast from the past. No way to go back and remake them again. So we've got to appreciate the gift in the day we have been given. Take a hold of your moments. I'm taking a hold of mine. Embrace the days you've been afforded. Never waste the time. We can't live in yesterday since it's already gone. So let's turn yesterday's challenges into today's stepping stones. Yes, we see the shortness of the hour, the constant ebb and flow of life. Today we might be riding those high waves, and yet tomorrow we might be stranded because of the low tides. So you see, it's really just a moment. The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Yeah. All we have is just a moment. Let us go ahead and live our dreams. For time does not stand still. It won't wait for you and me. We should release all of our inhibitions and become who God created us to be. For all we get is just a moment. Just a moment. Even in the unknown, moments. Just a moment. Am I the only one who is praying that we didn't need glasses to see clearly? Look here, I'm continuing to pray every day. You know, as I sit with this thought, the unknown, I'm reminded that sometimes, listen to this, God's greatest lessons come wrapped in uncertainty. It's uncomfortable, it's unfamiliar, but it's also where faith does its best work. That's where faith does its best work. And the truth is, when everything you know or you knew is gone, when what once made sense no longer adds up, that's when you realize your security was never really in the stuff. It's in the source, in God, in the source. Yes, we have to keep this in mind. And so I want to leave you with a few questions to think about this week. And I'm not even only referring to the people in Jamaica or in Cuba or the other islands that were hit by Hurricane Melissa. It's for us too, daily. We're faced with illness, financial hardships. We are, so I could name so many things. And we just don't know what lies ahead. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't see the answers. We don't have the answers. That's when the unknown is staring us in our faces. And we have to recognize, I'm now in this moment. So what am I going to do? How am I going to embrace it? How am I going to live through it? Right? And so I have three questions, not many at all. One of them is, what has life been asking you to release? Think about that. Sometimes when we lose stuff, we think it's a punishment, and it's not. It's pruning. It's pruning. Maybe what's gone made space for something greater that's coming. That's coming. So, is there something that life, God has been talking to you to release, let go of, so I can take you higher, higher in me? A question for you worth thinking about. And the second question is, where is God inviting you to trust Him more deeply? Think about that one. Not when things are certain, but right here in the middle of the unknown. Not when you have the money to buy the house, not when you have the money to pay for the education, not when the job is going right, when you just don't know. God is leading you where you don't know. Like He told Abraham, He says, leave your kindred and go to a place that I will show you. And Abraham had to step out in faith. He says, I don't know where I'm going, but if you tell me to go, I'm going. Because if you tell me to go, you've already prepared a place for me. So where is God inviting you to trust Him more deeply? In the midst of the unknown. And the third question is, how can you become a light for someone else who's walking through their own storm? Storms come in different ways. How can you extend a hand? How can you embrace the moment? Like I said on the podcast last week, how can you embrace the moment? It's by extending a hand. Who can you extend a hand to? You don't have to know someone to extend a hand. The Bible reminds us that when you help strangers, you help angels unaware. And so the needs are great. What has God laid on your heart to extend? How is He encouraging you to show up? Show up for a sister, show up for a brother, show up for a family that's standing in need. How can you stand in the gap in this season, in the seasons when seasons of unknown for others, and sometimes even seasons of unknown for yourself, right? I remember Elijah and the old widow didn't have enough cornmeal. She said, I just have a little bit to make for my son. and we're going to eat it and we're going to just die because we don't have anything else. And Elijah would say, make me something first. Make me a cake. And she had meal forever. Come on. So even sometimes out of our own need, we extend a hand to those who may be standing in a greater need. Standing in a greater need. So these 3 questions for you in this moment. So yes, how can you become a light for someone else who's walking through their own storm? Because remember, our comfort isn't just for us, it's meant to comfort others as well. It is. And so I want you to take a moment this week to sit with these questions. What has life been asking you to release? Where is God inviting you to trust Him more deeply? That's the second question. And the third question is, how can you become a light for someone else who's walking through their own storm in this moment? Journal them. Pray over them. Your response, that is. Talk about them with someone who encourages your faith. And remember that even in the unknown, God still knows. He still knows. Keep that in mind this week. Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to take a moment to speak from my heart. So many of our brothers and sisters back home in Jamaica, are still recovering from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Entire communities have been shaken. And that's the truth. So many lives have been changed in ways that we can't even begin to comprehend at all. No, we can't even describe it. Yes. It's as if entire towns have been flattened. And if you're listening right now and wondering how you can help, I encourage you to support in what way you're able to. There are organizations out there that you can make a donation or a contribution with. You can visit supportjamaica.gov.jm. Yes, that's the official platform for relief and recovery efforts across the island. Make your donation there. You have the Salvation Army, you have the Red Cross, and again, there are other organizations that are taking donations and contributions. Whether it's a prayer or a donation, yes, or simply just spreading the word. Every act of kindness makes a difference. Makes a difference. As you continue to pray, and as I continue to pray for Jamaica and the other islands that have been impacted by the hurricane, Cuba, Bahamas, Bermuda, we have DR, I think Turks and Caicos got some effects of it as well, Haiti. I'm inviting you to join me on Saturday, November 22nd for our monthly prayer gathering, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just for an hour. That's where we gather, we meet on Zoom once per month for an hour or two to pause, to reflect, to be encouraged, and to pray. A space where you can just reconnect with God. Join with me. Pray with me. It is on Zoom, and the meeting ID, I'm going to share it in the space, even though it will be available in the description of this episode. It's 845-0248-5624, and the passcode is 2025. We have made it simple. We've had issues before, but now it's 845-0248-5624, and the passcode is 2025. So I'm inviting you to come pray with me. Bring your faith, bring your journal, bring even a friend who could use some encouragement, and let's take a moment Let's pause for just a moment to pray together. I'm looking forward to seeing you there on November 22nd. And don't forget as well to follow me at Just the Moment, or at Just the Moment podcast, I should say, for updates and additional information. Follow me on Facebook, because that's where we provide updates all the time. Let's keep praying. Let's keep giving. Let's keep believing. Because even in the unknown, we know that God is still good. Be a blessing to someone else. So we will meet again next week, same place, same time, right here on the Just a Moment podcast, the Jam Pod. Remember, new episodes are available Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever podcasts are available. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We have RSS.com. We have Audible, Amazon Music. Check out the Just a Moment podcast. Now, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. And while you're doing that, hit the notification bell so you will be notified once the new episodes are available. And you can also check out our websites, seanandgraham.net for information, or justamoment.life. You get devotionals, updates, and ways to just stay connected to the Jam Pod. As I leave you, remember, moments that are gone, they don't come back. Missed moments can never be recaptured. They can never be retrieved. Ah, yes. But you know something? Every new day offers us a chance to begin again. Yeah. So take a hold of your moments. Take a hold of the moments that life sends your way, the ones that God affords. Because guess what? I'm taking a hold of mine. I'm taking a hold of mine. And don't forget, put God first in all that you do. Be good to yourself and be true to who you are. Be true to whom God has created you to be and to become. Be true to that person. And wherever this week finds you, remember, as hard as things may seem, God knows the unknown. God knows the unknown. I am Sean and Graham, your host, and I will see you next week on the Just a Moment podcast, the Jam Pod.
This is the Just a Moment podcast where we pause to reflect